Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Hey, welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Seth Vargas, who can't stop listening to the hit single, Puberty Love.
And I'm here with my friend Michelle Rubenstein, who got that medal at the last military picnic day.
Sure did. How are you?
Well, what happened this week?
I feel like a lot, dude, to be honest with you.
Michelle and I are in the throes of just so much
God.
production and behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
When this episode comes out, the Stony Brook Film Festival will have started.
It's in full swing.
We're there as we speak.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are. And if you're listening, you can still save 25% off on your ticket purchase.
Gosh.
I know. Is this like the gift that keeps on giving? It sure is. You can use code MovieFriends at checkout. Save. Come hang out. Go see movies.
Good movies.
Good movies. Yeah.
Paired with a good short.
I love it. I love that they do that.
And people that we've been interviewing.
Yeah. You should check out those interviews.
I'm packing. I'm all packed for my trip tomorrow. Heading down to the Big Easy, I think they call it.
I think that's correct.
New Orleans.
NOLA?
So flying down to do an interview down there.
How you feeling?
Flying right back. Well, hopefully by the time this episode comes out, I've made it home.
I hope so.
With all of my equipment. That's my only concern.
And the interview. Like, let's hope you fly down there and get the interview.
The interview is the only thing that I care about. I said earlier today, as long as the equipment gets there and I get the interview, anything can happen after that.
Yeah.
If I'm stuck in the airport for 24 hours, I will be a happy boy.
Yeah.
What about you? What's going on?
Well, let's see. In the past week, I've been on 2 journeys. Really, my Pro Tools editing journey has been like forever going, but it's been hardcore in the past couple of weeks. I'm taking lessons. But my other journey is I've been experimenting with a new self-tanner. And
a what?
A new self-tanner.
What's that?
Okay. I am very pale, and normally I don't care about that, but my legs are so pale.
Okay.
And I was
How pale are they?
How pale are they? I'm either the color of a ghost or a hot dog. So,
okay.
Anyway, I got this new self-tanner, and it's definitely a learning curve. It applies like a mousse, and then you let it set, and you wake up, and your legs are tan. Except this new one I got left me with some streaks and like a dirt mark on my foot. Very uneven. We're finally evened out now. No. It looks better. And Aunt was like, your legs do look better. And I was like, well, thanks.
So let me tell you something.
Okay.
You are going to bed. Is there a blanket involved?
Oh, well, you apply the self-tanner, which is like a gel mousse.
A mousse.
You let it dry.
Uh-huh.
I put pajama pants on, and then it works its magic as time goes on. However, if you're wearing pants while going to bed, what a surprise in the morning.
Yeah.
I
can't imagine taking my pants off and just, I'm a different person.
You're like, wow, 2 hot dogs are now attached to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was imagining you laying in bed, no pants, no blanket, just a thick layer of goo on your legs, like the peanut butter solution. just like laying completely, like not being able to move or anything. And I was like, how does this work? But okay, all right, so it dries.
So you really have no idea how self-tanner works. I've
never heard. I can't. Self-tanner. Why isn't it just called tanner? who is doing the tanning for you? Of course it's self-tanning. If you go to the beach, you're self-tanning. Is there a... So yeah, I guess at the gas station, it's like self-serve or full serve. Is there a full serve tanning where someone comes in
Sure.
and does the tanning for you?
Absolutely.
No.
Yes, you can go get a spray tan and a person will do that. And years and years and years ago, I used to have Liz tan me, my friend Alyssa, because she's just so good. And you do need a buddy if you do your upper body and your back. So then Ant would do my back.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really good because he's so good at painting. And I really feel like my back was a canvas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So can I got questions. Like, this
I'm
isn't
sorry.
tanning. This is dyeing.
Yeah. I guess like makeup, if you want to consider it like makeup, because it
Okay.
does fade. However, this new tanner, and we can end this conversation, but so I had this like dark circle on my foot and I could not wash it off. I was exfoliating. I applied lemon and baking soda. I applied Dawn dish soap. I applied acetone nail polish remover. I could not even it out. So now it is faded, but I was like, wow, this is serious stuff. But you know what? I'm not going to stop because I do
I'm
like
not
the
gonna stop.
appearance. I do like the appearance on my legs. Anyway,
You know what?
That's it.
I'm not a lady, and so I feel that my contribution to the conversation of how women look should be limited to you look good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should do
And
what we want. Anybody
and
should
that's
dress.
about where I should stay. But
Absolutely.
tanning, it's overrated. Being pale is cool,
I'm not going to go on. It is. I don't mind being pale, but it's short season and like I'm just so white and you're like, okay, what's wrong with that? Nothing. But we're getting real personal. I have such thin skin. You could like see my veins.
That's okay.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I just a little color. I feel better with just a little bit of color.
And that's great. Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm not like, oh, you shouldn't do that. I just
Right.
always, I guess I look at people and I'm surprised. I'm surprised at what people would change about themselves.
Sure.
Because very rarely it's what I would change about them.
Well, you know what?
Like Michelle's like, I'm pale. And I'm like, oh, baby, that is the least of your problems.
Well, we know. We've heard
I'm
your
kidding.
comments.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Well, anyway, now I know about the Moosey self-tanning. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe the next time you see me.
Can we make a reel? Can I tan you with my new goo?
Send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com, if you would like for me to be tanned with the new goo.
It's purple.
Hey, speaking of appearances, we're both in red.
We are. We dressed for the occasion, even though I didn't do this on purpose, but Seth did.
I did, yes. I showed up and saw Michelle was wearing a red shirt, and I was like, I should look like a tomato too.
Yeah, but Seth is wearing a button down. He's a fancy 5-star restaurant tomato, and I'm one that's in the field. Almost smushed.
You ever see the abandoned fruit in the supermarket parking lot?
Oh, I was thinking of like the bruised fruit in the store.
No, like you're going out and it's very apparent that someone's like cherry tomatoes fell and popped open and a few just got left behind, and it's a bummer.
Yeah. What can you do?
I usually pick them up and eat them.
Okay. Well, today we're just going to roll over that. We're talking about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes from 1978. Before we get into our discussion, Seth and I are going to try and guess one another's rating, and then we'll reveal at the end of the episode. I don't know how to feel and what you would rate this because I still don't know how I'm rating it. I think Seth lost his notebook.
My pen is... I never feel like I'm a big person until I have to fit into a small space. You know?
That's fitting. Yes.
Okay. You have never seen this.
Mm-mm.
And I asked you something about this movie over the last week, and your response to me was so like far left field of what I can't even remember what you said, but it was just the furthest thing from what I thought you were going to say. And so, yeah, I'm a little in the dark here, but
Yeah. Okay. I'm locked in.
okay, I am also locked in. And I think I got it.
You feel good?
Yeah. And I feel good about this whole month. Like we said, we've been so busy. I've been really busy. Michelle and I have collectively been busy with all this extra stuff. And just having to talk about these movies has been awesome.
I agree. This is the levity of the month, I will
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Compared to past couple, this does feel nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, we're talking about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes from 1978, directed by John De Bello. Screenplay by John De Bello, Costa Dillon, and Stephen Peace. Cinematography by John K. Cully. Composed by Gordon Goodwin, Paul Soundfor. Edited by John De Bello, and costume design by Costa Dillon. Starring David Miller, George Wilson, Sharon Taylor, and Stephen Peace. Seth, start us off with our discussion with a summary.
After a series of bizarre and deadly attacks, the U.S. government scrambles to stop a growing threat that no one could have predicted. Sentient, bloodthirsty tomatoes. Sorry. As chaos spreads and the vegetables, technically fruits, roll toward total domination, an incompetent task force must uncover their weakness and end the attack of the killer tomatoes.
Beautiful. Well done, Seth. So, what I texted you, what you were referring to, was that I feel like there is so much to this very, very silly movie.
Okay.
There's so much to this franchise. And because I'm very much brand new to it and like dipping my little now tan toe into the pool, I feel like I'm not prepared. Like I feel like I don't have enough time to learn all about it.
Yeah.
And then I had this like pep talk with myself. It's like, Michelle, you are not an expert and no one is expecting you to show up on Wednesday at Movie Friends and be like, you got to school Seth on everything about Attack of the Tomatoes, Killer Tomatoes. And our audience is expecting it. So I still feel that way though, even after the pep talk.
Wowee.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to be Michelle sometimes.
When you talk to yourself,
Yeah.
do you picture yourself or do you hear yourself?
Well, I'm looking in the mirror.
No way.
I look in the mirror and I go,
You really do it?
And I hold up my tattoo that says Confidence Cullen.
You really look at yourself?
I do.
I never look at myself.
But you talk to yourself.
Constantly.
But
there
like
is a constant running conversation. Yes.
Same. But there's the conversations can be different. Sometimes it's just me talking, and then sometimes it's like, okay, Michelle, honestly, like, you know, let me level with you here.
Right. Wow. Okay. Wow. I'm getting so many visuals of the inner life of Michelle just in the first 10 minutes of this. Pretty cool. All right. No, I can tell you, like, I know that there's some sequels.
Yeah.
George Clooney is in one.
The second one.
And I know that there was a cartoon show.
Yeah.
That's all I know. So
I think what also is racking in my brain is the fact that this movie is so different than Troll 2 and the Peanut Butter Solution. Because it from the start it's set out to be a satire.
Correct. Yes.
So I mean that's such a different playing field than the past two movies that we've covered this month.
It is, but I don't I see this forming a good group.
No, it is. It's still a schmovie, but it's a different version of a schmovie.
It's a schmovie on purpose.
It's a schmovie on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you ask some people, they hate this movie and they don't think it's funny. They don't,
Which I get.
They think it's pretty terrible, which is odd to me because
Yeah.
I watched this the first time, I guess, last year. And I had heard about this movie my whole life. I remember the theme song, which is really great. And I remember the cartoon show. And I feel like I remember like my mom had seen this movie and like she would talk about it. And then I sat down to watch it. And I was like, this is great. This is hilarious. This is so smart. And
Yeah.
I like pretty much all of this. It's a little meandering, but this is a great satire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well done. I have always heard about this movie, and I personally love tomatoes,
Okay.
and they've always been my favorite vegetable, fruit, however you want to
Yeah.
categorize them. In high school, I very much would wear tomato apparel. I had a red messenger bag that had a giant tomato patch on it. I had a tomato t-shirt. My email address was the power of tomato. So
Wow.
I always wanted to see this movie. And so I typed in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes in my notes app when I
Mhm.
was watching this movie, and then I was searching to like continue my notes the other day. And a note came up from September 7th of last year.
Hmm.
On this day, I hung out with my aunt and my uncle, and my uncle loves bad movies,
Okay.
specifically sci-fi movies, okay?
Okay.
On that list was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women,
Okay.
and then Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Very cool.
And so, this is a little off topic, but it ties in. And so I'm always looking for how things can make sense and connect in my life. I
Yes.
was destined to fall in love with Ed Wood and Vampira. Whether we were going to cover Ed Wood on this show, my uncle told me to watch that last September,
Wow.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Wow. And now we didn't quite cover Plan 9, but we did our Ed Wood deep dive, and
And I've
so
watched it.
we've kind of done 2 of those movies. So now
Yeah.
Voyage to the Planet of
Prehistoric Women. Have
Women.
you seen that?
I haven't, but I've heard of it because the great American film director Peter Bogdanovich, who has made, I mean, Paper Moon, Last Picture Show, What's Up Doc, Targets. He also did a movie called Mask with Cher. Maybe you've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
He used to make, kind of B movie stuff, and he was one of the co-directors of this.
Wow.
So I've definitely come across it before, but anyway, I
Yeah.
would love to watch this and talk about it.
Yeah, that would be great. And anyway, so I got a kick out of that. The fact
Are you going to
that, like,
send this episode to your uncle?
I am going to send it to him.
Okay.
And it's just funny to me how things just, I don't know, line up sometimes,
Yeah.
whether or not you think it's coincidental or not. But
Yeah.
okay, so Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, I sit down to watch it, and I'm giggling right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is the silliest of the silliest. I'm very into this. I very much like it. And as I could continue to watch it, I'm like, okay, I still like it. At times, I'm like, is it trying too much? But I think that's the point. And all I kept thinking the whole time I was watching was, who made this? And how did this get made?
Yes.
And so, I don't know, I was just really excited to find out that this movie was made by 3 friends. Do you know any of the history behind this?
Extremely little. Everything that you will tell me, I'm pretty sure will be new information.
Okay, so Costa Dillon, John De Bello, and Stephen Pease, they meet in high school.
Okay.
Costa watches Attack of the Mushroom People. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay. And he thinks this is so dumb. But then he's like, how can we make something sillier?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't know how he came up with the idea of tomatoes, but he says in this interview that I read in Bon Appetit magazine, actually, that he thought of tomatoes because maybe they seem so innocuous.
Yes.
Which is really funny to me because, like, what in your mind fruit or vegetable comes off as harmful? Suspicious.
Right. Asparagus.
Asparagus?
Yeah, I could see asparagus getting into some shady stuff.
Because, like, to me, my first thought was a pineapple because of the spikes.
A pie? Oh, okay. Well, an asparagus kind of has soft spikes at the top.
Wow. I would asparagus.
Pineapple. Pineapple's so sweet, though.
It is, but the exterior is spiky.
Yeah, okay. Sometimes people with a spiky exterior have a very sweet interior.
It's true.
You just
It's
have to
true.
cut them in half to find out.
That's right. Cut to the core. Okay, but anyway, so Costa and John.
But not a tomato. Not a tomato.
Not a tomato.
No.
Not a tomato.
No.
Never, 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 never. So Costa and John and Steven, they all take a film class after high school at UC Davis.
Okay.
And they make a Super 8 Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It's about 15 minutes long, and they get an A on it. This was a class project.
Very cool. Yeah.
So then after college, they form a company called Foursquare Productions, and they start making sports highlight films.
Okay.
And they become the go-to for analytical films for coaches so they can analyze their high school football games.
Obviously I love movies.
Right.
But I just love how wide the world is.
I know.
And how, like, you meet people and it's like, I'm sorry, what is your job? Well, I make movies for football coaches to review sports stuff. Yeah. Like, you can truly, like, lean into anything, and there's such a wide variety of options. But anyway.
Totally. And the fact that, like, these three guys who clearly like making comedic films, they start a company and this is what they're known for. And so, like, while it paid the bills, it wasn't creative work. And so then they start making silly films, and this being one of them. They bring in David Miller, who plays Mason Dixon. He's a friend from high school, which I also loved knowing, because you and I, we like to make silly things and we like to tie in our friends and family. I don't know. I just love it. And then, like, learning about Matt Farley and the whole Moturn media world and all of those films, and just using your friends and your family. So anyway, that was a very brief history of the guys who made this movie, but it just made me appreciate it more.
I was curious about that. The only person in this who feels like an actor is the guy who plays Richardson.
The press secretary.
The press secretary. And I really like his performance.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that his monologue at the end. Well, okay, so the movie starts out talking about the reception of The Birds. Hitchcock's The Birds. Have you seen The Birds?
I have.
Okay.
And it creeped me out.
Yes. I'm part of the gang that's like, you know what? This is scary. This is a scary movie.
Yeah.
But growing up, I remember adults in my life would talk about The Birds and just laugh. And they thought it was so cheesy and corny and stupid. And there's a few moments in this that do kind of get close to like a Hitchcock feeling. When Finletter chases the shooter, who we don't know who the shooter is yet at this point, and then they're staring each other down, and then the train passes between them. That's a Hitchcock moment.
Yeah.
It's great. And then the scene at the end where Mason Dixon and Richardson are talking, I watched that again. I've watched this so many times the last few days because my 4-year-old got really into it. So he just kept watching it and he kept asking. So he has actually now seen the second Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and I haven't.
Oh,
so
man.
I gotta watch it. But.
Yes. I hear the second one is better.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. From what I've been reading and consuming. The second and the fourth are the best.
I would be so willing to watch all of these.
Me too. It's on my list. I definitely want to. Yeah.
Because it's like you throw it on. Like,
this is easy.
Come on.
Right.
But I've rewatched this several times, and each time it gets to that scene, there's almost no more humor But I think you're so like amped up from the just absurd silliness of it that you might miss that.
Yeah.
But there's like no real jokes. Obviously, like the UPS guy comes in.
I actually like the joke, and it's very subtle. It's just maybe more of the delivery where Mason's like, "You've failed twice," and Richardson's like, "Actually, it was 3 times, but,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
here's a go." Like, that was a really good
Yeah.
delivery on his part.
Yeah. But if you take that scene out
Yeah.
and put it into another movie, a serious movie that's like actually trying to find a killer or actually
Uh-huh.
trying to uncover political intrigue, I don't think you would have to change too much for it to
Yeah.
fit. So anyway, I kind of had a feeling that some of these people were like family or friends or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I like too, I don't know, in the opening scene after we get the text crawl about the birds,
Mm-hmm.
we get the credits
Oh my
and
God.
we have the song Attack of the Killer Tomatoes playing, and it's interlaced with advertisements, and then you get to, and I don't know if you caught this, but it gets to the slide where it lists the assistant director, production manager, location scout, second unit director, costume designer, all purpose bit player, and it's
Yes.
all Costa Dillon, but different like versions of
First
his
names.
name.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's like Costa Dillon, CJ Dillon, Constantine J Dillon. And I was like completely just tickled by that.
Yes. I love
Amazing.
that.
Amazing.
The opening credits are great. It's just a sheet of glass, plopping, splopping,
They're throwing. Yeah.
throwing, breaking
Yeah.
tomatoes against the glass.
So good.
And there's all these little jokes in there. There's the funny song. I like credits because there's no limit to how creative you can be with them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you want to like set a tone for the movie, so something like this would be out of place in like All the President's Men. But you can get really, really creative and do a different style than what the rest of your movie is for a movie with a really small budget. I feel like they use just they're squeezing like every second of this movie
Yeah.
is full of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also feel like another reason why I'm trying to grasp as much information about this and feeling like I'm not qualified, which is not the right word, but I guess from like talking about it on a podcast, is I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that is being parodied. Is that it? Parodied?
Yeah.
What's a better word I could use for that?
Referenced.
Referenced, thank
Yeah.
you. That's going over my head. A lot of film stuff I'm sure they're borrowing from. I mean, yes, we're like commenting on the government and
Yeah.
mass media and, all that stuff. But like obviously Jaws. Okay, I knew
Right.
that.
The Jaws one. Yep. Yep. That's
Hitchcock.
pretty obvious.
Okay.
Hitchcock. Yep.
But I'm sure there's lots of other stuff that's like I haven't seen. So I maybe would appreciate it more if I knew more of the source material
I agree.
that they're
And
playing with.
I also had that feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a lot of stuff that they were parodying that was out at the time or, 10 years prior that I'm
Yeah.
just not familiar with. So some of the jokes where I was like, oh, I don't fully understand that one. I kind of thought that was maybe the
Yeah.
case
Right.
because there are a lot of pop culture references and things I mean, the song that you already referenced, Puberty Love, they're saying it's by something Osmond, and clearly that's Donny Osmond, making fun of Donny Osmond.
Yep.
At the end, in the crowd at the stadium, you've got the Marx Brothers.
You also have, okay, in going back to the credits.
Yeah.
Okay. It says, and introducing Dean Grell as Miss Potato Famine of 1922. And she shows up. She's in the crowd wearing a sash that says like Potato
Yes.
Famine. Oh
Yeah.
my. I was like, that sent me. I was like, this is amazing.
But that's such a funny joke because she has no lines and doesn't appear until the final 7 minutes of the movie.
And you will miss her.
You will miss her. Yes.
She's in the background.
So it's funny to put in a whole slide acting as if it's going to be a big thing, and then it's like a blink and you'll miss it kind of a thing. But like the
Right.
Marx Brothers, Leatherface is in the crowd, and then there's some other people who I was like, it looks like that guy's wearing a costume.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if one guy was supposed to be like Andy Warhol, but I was like, I think this is too early for Andy Warhol.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, I'm sure there's some stuff. I'm sure that there's some stuff that we missed. Definitely.
Yeah. So it kind of, in that note, like makes me feel like I could watch this movie every year, especially if we continue doing this podcast, right? I'm
Right.
always going to pick up little film nuggets and
Yep.
then be like, oh, it's kind of like, and it reminded me of every time I watch Gilmore Girls,
Yes. Yeah.
I am understanding and picking up more and more and more of their references just by living life.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And watching movies and TV, because that's
Yes,
like
exactly.
90% of what they talk about.
Of their references. Yeah.
Yes. Then you have to get into the like golden age of Hollywood gossip
Yeah.
world, and then you'll really understand everything that Rory and Lorelai are saying.
Yeah, I know.
So in the credits,
Yes.
there is a phone number.
There is.
Did you call that phone number?
I didn't. I was hoping we could call it together.
Okay. Do you want me to do it?
I do. I have the number.
Oh, I have the number too.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yep.
Because it says the title screen says this space available. Call 714-474-5566.
Okay, so I've got that up.
That's correct.
I'm on 15% right now.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna call and put it on speaker, I guess. Will you be able to hear it?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be able to hear it.
Yeah, just put it up to your mic.
Okay. Oh boy, I'm
Here
nervous.
we go.
Nothing's gonna happen. It's just gonna go. Bam, bam, bam.
I hope they pay for this line and we get like a.
Okay, ready?
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed, as the called party is busy. Please hang up and try again later. Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
Busy?
What?
Wow, I wasn't expecting that plot twist. I was ready to just hang up.
Busy?
All right, well, we will call.
Let's call it the end of the show.
Yeah, I was going to say in another 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's time for a call.
If we do not hear from them next episode, we will continue calling this number.
I think we have to call until we get an answer.
Until we get an answer. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Deal.
Okay. Well, that was exciting.
Yeah. The first attack we get, so this is our introduction into these killer tomatoes. A woman in her kitchen, she hears a tomato gibbering in her sink, and it murders her. We don't see how the tomato murders her.
Right.
We just hear screaming, and it's a regular sized tomato. Just I lost it and was so completely giddy over this.
Yeah.
And I was very excited because like if this is the tone and what we're getting into, yes, I'm upset.
Yeah.
I didn't know what kind of like quote unquote tomatoes were gonna look like in this.
Sure.
So the fact that we're, most of them are just actual tomatoes.
I think in later entries, they're doing like tomatoes with faces and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Which, okay, whatever. Look,
right.
I'll try it, but I love that it's just a tomato.
Yeah, and people are so afraid. And I kept trying to think like, okay, if I was at my sink and a tomato started moving around and gibbering at me, yes, this would freak me out, but I think I'd probably try to kill it or stop it.
Well, I think that we're supposed to believe that this tomato crawls up through the pipe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
in itself is a miraculous feat and also very scary.
Sure, but also it's a tomato, so you would just try to like drop a blade on it.
Well,
or
right,
a
yeah. You grab a knife and
so much
bigger. You ever get worried that a snake is gonna bite your butt when you sit on the toilet?
Yes. Yep, sure do.
I've thought about it, but those things I feel like are just so rare that it's pointless to worry about.
I mean, does it stop me from using the toilet? No.
Right.
But I have thought about it.
If I die because a snake bit me on the butt, I'm sorry. Like, no way to prevent that. What am I supposed to have? Like a butt cam?
Right.
Like a little toilet cam, so that as I'm going, I can be like, anything coming up?
Yeah, and maybe it would be so fast because I'm thinking maybe you would hear it and you could get up in time.
I don't know if you would hear it.
It
No.
just real fast.
Yeah, like the
real
tomato.
Fast. Like the tomato. Yeah. Okay. All right. Back on track here. Let's talk about this team that assembles because we now it's sweeping the nation. The tomatoes are attacking. And so Mason Dixon and the Special Task Force. We talked a little bit about Mason Dixon, but how do you feel about Mr. Dixon, played by David Miller?
I think he's very funny, and I think I just like David Miller's look.
Like how he's dressed or how he's very like deadpan. He's kind of our straight character.
All of it, the whole thing. His like shaggy hair and big sideburns. He's like a little squat guy. You know who he reminds me of is Ziggy.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Ziggy?
I loved Ziggy.
And Ziggy's kind of like a loser, but you still like him because it's like, poor Ziggy.
Right.
And like nothing really seems to go his way, and that's kind of, I feel like this guy has Ziggy energy.
Yeah, I wouldn't like. It's weird because he hasn't worked in a while, right? But they bring him on. I wouldn't say he's a loser by any means. He kind of just is one note.
Well, it's like he's put in charge of this task force, and it's not like SEAL Team 6. It's
this task force.
Dolphin Team 0.
Oh my gosh. We have Sam Smith, who's the disguise expert. We have Greta Ettenbaum, who's an Olympic swimmer. Greg Colburn, who's the scuba diver. And then Wilbur Finletter, who's our highly trained soldier.
When I first watched this movie, I did not realize that there was like a full-on plot.
Okay, I'm really glad you said that because I also felt the same way. And then I was like, I think I'm missing something, but this is such a silly, simple movie. But I'm like, no, but what is actually the plot here?
Right.
What is actually going on? And then it wasn't until I watched it for a second time where I was like, oh, there's like an actual story here.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, and it was like Finletter and Lois like in the hotel. I was like, wait, why are they in the same place?
Yep.
Wait, who's the? Okay, whatever. Because the movie keeps cutting to all these little scenes that are not connected. They're not connected to the main storyline. They're not connected to each other, and so. I have no shame in saying that I am so dumb that I did not see the plot of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes in its entirety the first time that I watched it.
That makes me feel so much better.
Well, I hope that in, saying that, I hope some listeners can relate and you feel better.
That would be great because also like on the second time, I'm like, oh, Mason figuring out that the tomatoes are like allergic to hearing puberty love. I did not pick up on that. I did not pick up on the fact that like Richardson, the press secretary, was the masked gunman. At all.
When I rewatched it, because I watched it last year and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was really stupid, silly, whatever. When I rewatched this and we go to like the POV of a shooter and he's just like gunning people down on the sidewalk, I was like, whoa, I don't remember that. That is dark. And they don't play it for laughs. It's it's done really well, actually. The people that are being shot, it's realistic. It's scary. And I think that's another scene that you could lift from this movie and put into another, and it would, fit perfectly well. But yeah, I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah, that.
And then I was like, wait, does this guy come back? And then they keep chasing him. I'm like, wait, I don't even remember who that is. And yeah, it is pretty obvious because the masked guy kidnaps Mason. But then when he wakes up in the room with Richardson, you only see Richardson kind of like holding up the mask.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's not centered on
Yeah,
him and the
right.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm a dummy.
Well, I'm a dummy too. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, the villain is Richardson. It's not really the tomatoes. I mean,
Mhm.
like we're fearful of them. We don't even know why we don't know why they're
Well, because he dies before we find out what he did to them.
right. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this whole time, I'm like, oh, okay, that's an
Yeah.
actually interesting twist that we wrote it like this.
And again, the first time I watched it, watching Richardson be the bad guy, I was like, oh, okay, he's the bad guy. Who is he?
I know. I'm like, oh, you're the
Who is
press
he?
secretary. Okay.
Yeah.
So his like vendetta and his the meaning for doing this is because he's sick of answering questions and working for the president, and he wants to be in charge. He wants power. And I was like, okay, got it.
And again, I love his monologue. He's like, I want to be the one asking the questions, and I want to be the one giving the answers. I was like, oh my God.
Right. And I love that he says before we figure out about Purity Love, he's like, I guess you could say I'm in tune with my vegetables, my garden, because he has the vegetable garden. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. This is pretty smart. This is like really well written.
I will defend Attack of the Killer Tomatoes as a very smart movie.
Yeah.
There are parody movies in the vein of Airplane.
Well, they feel that
good.
Airplane is their movie is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes with a budget.
Airplane comes after this?
Okay, so Airplane comes out in 1980. And so this comes out and they're like, oh, it's just our movie with a budget.
Interesting.
So you don't like Airplane?
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. I like Airplane. I love Top Secret. That's a really good one. I think I like Top Secret more. That's Val Kilmer's film debut. And it's like a spy war parody, kind of like Airplane is a disaster movie parody. You'll love it. If you like this, you'll love it. It's so good. And Val Kilmer is so good in it. So I like this style of movie, but I think that you have to be smart to do it. You can't just do joke a minute, parodying movies a minute. And I recently watched this movie. Is it Epic Movie? Remember when they were doing like scary movie, epic movie, disaster movie, date movie?
Yes.
And just one of those was coming out like every 6 months and they were all horrible.
Yep.
I watched Epic Movie recently and there were some parts of it that were funny. But it was just, hey, here's this thing. Don't we all hate that? Isn't it funny just to show you this? Like at one point, it's like people show up and it's clearly the cast of like Sex and the City, but there's no jokes. There's nothing funny about it. It's just, hey, we hate these women. So that's what I mean. Like when people are inspired by these movies, but they're not smart. Right. And I think Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is very, very smart. There are a few jokes that have not aged well, but I actually think some of the jokes that haven't aged well are still funny. I'll say that.
I mean, I laughed as well, so.
Yeah, because I think that the jokes aren't coming from a place of malice and anger and hate. They're just coming from a place of like, oh, this is kind of funny. And the line that was drawn back then was further than where it is today.
Right.
But they're not flat out coming and saying, we hate Japanese people. Aren't they stupid?
Right.
But the Japanese scientist knocks a picture of the USS Arizona into the water. To me, that's a funny joke.
And I was like, that was well executed. The timing was great. I thought that was funny.
But I think that this movie is very, very smart. And it's very sad to say, but the way that this movie depicts government ineptitude and self-serving and placating a president who is literally just like kept busy by signing big papers that mean nothing. I think that if you watch this with that in mind, you can see how sadly nothing has changed. And all the way back in the 70s, they're making all the same jokes.
Totally.
Yeah.
It still works. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you think about the media of it,
Mhm.
right? We meet ad exec Ted Swan, the mind maker, and how he can influence the country with advertisements. He got the president into office, and the president sends Richardson like, you have to go work with Swan.
Yeah.
And so Swan just like presents himself of like, oh, this is how we can twist it. This is how we can twist that tomatoes are actually good. We'll just make bigger pizzas. They're not nuclear plants.
Right.
Like advertising has not changed, right? Like that is still very much a thing and how we're influenced. So,
yeah. And I think it depends on, again, are you hateful, sinister?
Right.
Yeah. Because if if someone came to us and said, Seth and Michelle, I need for you to make a commercial about this thing, we would go through all of those same steps. Like, okay, how are we presenting this? What is the spin? What is the angle? What can we, it's, deception is kind of like, deception and distraction are kind of like the nature of the game. But yeah, it hasn't changed. I mean, they have a Senate committee
oh my God,
throughout the movie.
So funny.
It's just all these old dudes.
They're like, why are we even here again? What are we doing? Yeah.
They're like passing out papers.
Yep.
Not even really doing that well. That's about all that they're good at. We check in with them a few times, and then at almost the end of the movie, they come to the resolution that they're not going to do anything.
Right.
And today, there are several major issues that are happening. And we just keep coming to this answer of like, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And it's extremely frustrating. But I think sometimes through like comedy and art, you can, see those things a little clearer. So this movie's smart.
Yeah, I agree. The Senate subcommittee, one of the pamphlets gets leaked, and this makes its way to a news outlet. And so that ties in reporter Lois Fairchild.
Mm-hmm.
She's a society writer, but now she has to go investigate this. What'd you think of her?
I liked her. I liked Lois. I thought she was very funny.
Yeah.
It's not a funny scene. It's like very uncomfortable, but she's feeling pressured to like sleep with the soldier in order to get information. But when she just like goes in and lays on the bed and she's like, the way that the actor performs that is so funny. It's so I think that the actors is it's good. Before Lois comes out, the chief's right hand man runs into the scene, crashes into the desk while blowing his nose.
Yes. It's like he was quickly summoned.
Mm-hmm. And that was I said to my son, I was like, that's an example of how to be funny with nothing. It's like, okay, how does he come in? Well, it'd be funny if you ran in and hit the desk. And he's blowing his nose. Sure, let's try it. And again, I kind of felt like maybe none of these people were like full on actors with tons of experience, but I thought they all killed it. And I thought Sharon Taylor, she doesn't have a ton to do, but I thought she was great. I thought she was funny.
I thought she was great too. I mean, especially at the end when her and Mason realize they love each other.
Okay.
Which I know I didn't want to get to that, and I want to save the end for the end, but the fact that she like holds Mason, like Mason jumps into her arms, I was very amused. I was very amused by that. But before we get to that, another thing that surprised me in this movie were the musical numbers.
Yes, I was
There's
so
3 of them.
excited.
There's 3 musical numbers.
Well, so there's the opening song.
Yes.
There's Puberty Love, which is never quite performed, but it's throughout.
Yeah.
And then there's the Mind Maker song.
Yep.
the army song.
The military performs.
And then Mason and Lois have a song. And I was so excited because at the end of last month, you floated a new idea, which was the schmusical.
I did, yeah. Yep.
And so rewatching this, I was like, oh my God, this is it.
This is
It's all
schmusical.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The schmusical is happening.
It exists.
How did you feel about these parts of the movie?
I mean, I'm along for the ride. I'm always impressed by any piece of media that we can like write a song and the song is funny. So like not only do we do it with like the intro song, but like we do it over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like well thought out songs. And if you listen and read, I have my captions on, so I'm like reading the lyrics. And I'm like, this is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like what they're doing. And then the military dance, singing, musical number, anytime a person takes their finger and like squiggles it up in the air, makes me laugh. And so you have this grown ass guy just like doing that move, and they're dancing with their guns, and this is really funny. This movie's packing in a lot, but somehow it all works.
So this movie is packing in a ton, and what I wanted to do on my notes watch, and I won't bore everyone listening at home to death with it, but I wrote out every scene. I didn't write out what happens in every scene, but I wrote out every single scene that happens in the movie because it's just so jam-packed. I feel the same way about this that I feel about Troll 2 and Peanut Butter Solution, which is there's the silliness of it all, but we can kind of be blinded by that because you're just like holding on for dear life and like, ah, ha, ha, this is so crazy. This is so weird. Oh, look at the bad budget, blah, blah, blah. And you can kind of lose sight of the craft that goes into this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wrote down like 60 different scenes. The old people on the couch.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Poor Timmy.
Oh, I didn't know they grew him that big. Bye, Timmy. Or whatever.
Poor Timmy.
That's
so funny. The delivery.
The small room.
Okay. That also. I was like, this is like a, how can I say it? It's obvious is not the right word, but like this is so like an obvious visual gag.
Yes.
But it still made me laugh.
Yes.
Because
and when have you really seen this?
Right. Well, you think of a clown car. How many are we going to pack in? How many are going to come out? But just seeing these men crawl over the table, the way they get into the room, I thought it was really funny. Like I was laughing a lot at that.
And one thing that I will say, I do feel like maybe around 80% of the way through, I feel like we start to dip, like lull just a touch,
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't think that any joke that they do goes on for too long. Like maybe puberty love. Maybe it's like, okay, this isn't that funny. The 12th time that,
But I get why they're doing it.
But I get why they're doing it.
It's a storytelling device here. Yeah.
We cut to a supermarket at one point for less than 10 seconds. And we get stop motion animation of the grocery clerks like laying on the floor and tomatoes are just like moving. That's so unnecessary. Yeah. But it's kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
We get the reporter talking to the woman whose husband is missing.
We're going to start on a tight shot, Bill.
Yeah. What if your husband's in a ditch and his legs are broken and he's calling out your name right now?
Will you ever marry again?
Yeah, you should. You're no spring chicken. And that's another funny kind of commentary on media manipulation and
exploiting
the news and journalism. I don't know.
Did you have a favorite death by tomato scene?
I do like when the swimmer from their team is in the woods and she's eating steroid cereal and then she dies and then Finletter comes in and he's like, oh, I'm supposed to tell you that there's a dangerous tomato activity in the area. Bye. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I found the scariest one to be the tomato juice because you don't see that coming, literally.
Oh, yeah. That's another kind of funny little cutaway. We just
Yeah.
cut to a couple and he drinks the tomato juice and dies.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it hits, he dies. But really, I don't know if I have a favorite one, but I love the gibbering.
Oh, yeah?
I love it. I want that on loop. I would just listen to that because it makes me laugh so much. And I just loved the different use of tomatoes. And I was so interested in these props because obviously they used real tomatoes. They had their stock tomatoes, if you will, and then they had their star tomatoes. And the stock tomatoes were the bruised tomatoes that they purchased at the store that they could use to throw and, smush and smash and all the things. And then they tried to make the bigger tomatoes out of balloons and paper mache, but that didn't work. So what they ended up using was soundproofing material.
Ooh, interesting.
That exists inside the walls of BART cars or BART cars.
I don't even know what that is. That like a train?
BART stands for Bay Area Rapid Transit. So it's the rail system in the San Francisco area. And so Steve's wife's dad worked at this big manufacturing company in San Diego, had a bunch of this stuff left over. So they would dig semicircles into the ground, put this stuff in, dig it out once it hardened, and cement the two halves together so they could roll these bigger tomatoes like 1 or 2 times before they disintegrated.
Before they disintegrated.
Yeah, and then they write that in this interview that I read, they said, little do people know that when they take that nice, comfortable ride in a BART car, they're insulated by a killer tomato.
That's funny. Wow. Something that I don't know if you were going to bring this up, but we must mention. You're watching this for the first time. Okay. Funny tomatoes, Hitchcock, songs. And then you see a real life helicopter crash.
Yes.
So you're watching this. Do you think, wow, how'd they do that?
I sure did. I was like, oh my gosh.
Me too.
I can't believe we have the budget for this.
Me too. And it turns out that they did not.
Yeah, that's a real helicopter crash that thank goodness they were still filming.
Oh my God.
Everyone just kept going and they used it. And thank God, nobody was hurt. But you get that great line, the kamikaze tomato.
Right.
Talk about a happy accident.
Obviously, yeah, if the pilot was hurt or killed or it would be the greatest tragedy because it's like, wow, somebody did not need to die for this movie to happen. But it's a great scene because first you see that helicopter crash and then you get like a crop plane just fly, which is of course Hitchcock, North by Northwest, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's like, man, oh man, this is a big budget movie.
Right.
And it's not at all. But Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is worth watching for that helicopter crash.
Agreed.
Because it takes you so much by surprise. And genuinely, and again, my second time watching it through for this, I was like, wow, I don't remember that. How did they do that? And I immediately paused the movie and Googled, how did they do the helicopter stunt? And I was like, oh, they didn't. They just crashed on accident.
Yeah. I mean, but talk about publicity for the film. Definitely got people talking about it. But yeah, I was like, I can't believe they did this on like under $100,000 budget.
I would not believe that if I watched this movie. Sure, the tomatoes look like they're pretty much made of paper mache, but the amount of locations in this movie alone, pretty impressive. We have some car chases,
which are really well executed.
We're in a hotel,
which, by the way, that hotel has never been shot in before.
Ooh.
They were super excited to be a part of a film, so they were like, "Yeah, sure, come on in."
Interesting, because it's very nice.
It's super nice, and then the stadium they rented for like $200, and they spent the whole day just smashing tomatoes.
$200?
Yep.
This is a different world.
Let me tell you.
I I think if you wanted to rent a stadium today, it would be like $200,000.
Yeah. Yeah. They were a SAG film, though, which was like
Okay.
really rare for a low budget film at the time.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. I'm even more impressed then.
I know.
But yeah, you've got the stadium, you've got a helicopter crash, you've got a plane, you got that hotel, you have all these different offices, all these different houses, car chases. You've got Finletter being dragged.
Yeah, which he
Like,
got
there's
hurt
stunts?
on. Yeah. And he did all his own stunts, which is
Crazy.
Steve Peace, by the way. The
Yeah.
co-writer, co-producer is also starring as Finletter. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no,
And I feel like the props in this look good. Like that box of steroids.
I know.
It's not like they just took a box of Wheaties and put a piece of paper on it. Like,
yeah, I know.
I'm astounded, and I really truly think that this is a really high watermark for low budget independent American filmmaking.
Yeah,
because I just can't believe that they did all this for
I
so
know.
cheap.
I know. And they, going back to the musical numbers, they wrote all of the songs, and then they worked with Gordon Goodwin to compose. He's a Grammy-winning composer for Animaniacs and Con Air.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and then...
Ooh, now that you say Animaniacs, I can...
Does it make sense?
Totally hear. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Matt Cameron, who became the drummer of Soundgarden,
right.
and then the drummer of Pearl Jam, he's the singer of Puberty Love.
Yes, and he was young, right? He was a kid,
was young.
right?
Yeah, he was a teenager. Yeah.
Now, that would be a fun one for you to go back and watch as an adult, is Animaniacs.
Oh,
because that is all movie references and Steven Spielberg and all that. So
yeah, I loved Animaniacs.
I didn't understand any of that when it was on the air. I was just like, oh, this is a really funny show.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a joke that I don't even think that this joke aged poorly, but it's definitely one of the more questionable jokes, but it's my favorite thing. One of my favorite things in the movie is the guy who is the undercover agent part of the team.
Sam Smith. Mm-hmm.
Sam Smith is their undercover expert. Fine, whatever. At one point during the movie, he is dressed as Adolf Hitler, and Finletter, comes from out of the sky, drops in, and Mason Dixon is like, oh, hi, how are you? You must be Finletter. And Finletter starts freaking out. He's like, oh my God, that's Adolf Hitler, and starts to attack him. And Sam Smith as Hitler just says, Wiener Schnitzel.
And Autobahn.
Autobahn. It's so funny. It's so funny. And then later, Sam Smith goes to infiltrate the tomatoes, and he is just dressed in the worst tomato costume that you've ever seen. And he thinks that he's blown his cover, but he hasn't. And the tomatoes think that he is a giant tomato until he asks for ketchup for his hot dog.
It's very funny. It's so funny.
I love this idea of having an undercover character that clearly is not it's not even like Sam Smith dresses like Hitler, but then he really talks like him.
No,
there's no effort to actually be whatever he's trying to be, but everyone believes it. Yeah, that's a funny premise.
Very
and I
funny.
think that the actor pulls it off. I wish that he was I kind of wish that he was the Finletter character.
Yeah.
Where Finletter's kind of the second in command to Mason Dixon. He's in it the most. And I just wish that he was, because it's so funny. Every time he's doing his undercover thing, it's so funny that I wished we just got that throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, if we got a little bit more of that. And he's not even when he's with the tomatoes, he's not gibbering. No. He's speaking English, but also the tomatoes are, they're talking about do you want an arm? Do you want dark meat?
Yeah.
It's what, around a campfire? It is so funny.
Mm-hmm. Right. Why are tomatoes around a campfire?
Why wouldn't they be, right? Why not?
we already kind of talked about it, but yeah, all of the stuff with the president and the mind maker. At one point, mind maker says, the president wants us to convince 200 million Americans that this disaster is actually a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, kill me now.
Right? I know.
Like, oh yeah, this horrible thing that is happening, actually, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is okay. This is good. And then the president is talking with Mason Dixon, and he's talking about where they're going to have their last military stand. And he gets on the phone with someone else, and he's like, oh yeah. And nuke New York City. And Mason Dixon's like, they're not even in New York City. He's like, don't worry about it. You do your job and I'll do mine. And Mason Dixon just kind of has to be like, okay, fine. But you can tell he's like really, really bummed.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you could see how that scene could be written 5 different ways, performed 5 different ways, but it's performed the way that it is. And it's very upsetting. It's very, I did not expect to re-enter this Attack of the Killer Tomatoes world and come out of it with this sense of like, oh yeah, like things, not that things aren't bad now, because things are bad now. Like things are really bad now, but oh yeah, things have been this way
Right.
for a very long time.
Right.
Right. It's just that now our reality more so matches parody and satire.
Mm-hmm. Going back to the scene where we have Richardson pointing the gun at Mason, and it's like it's super serious, and Finletter comes in to save the day. What's funny about Finletter is he's a soldier, but he kills with a sword.
And he never takes off his parachute.
Never. It's always attached.
So
it's
I don't know what this character is.
Yeah.
Like, when did the military stop using swords?
Right.
And it must have been before parachutes, right? So like they're combining him into like these 2 different time periods, but both of them are just kind of like the past.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. But he comes in and he saves the day, and he stabs Richardson. And
just as we're about to hear how he made the tomatoes killer.
Yeah. But then it clicks. Mason's like, oh my God, Ronnie Desmond's puberty love is the thing that is keeping the tomatoes at bay. And so he tells Finletter, gather everyone and meet at the stadium.
Yep.
And Finletter's like, there's no one else around, just crazies. And so then we cut to Finletter running with a crowd of people to the stadium.
Yep.
And so the plan is to blast Puberty Love over the loudspeakers as the tomatoes start to make their way to.
It's very, I know you haven't seen Rocky 2, but it's very Rocky 2 before Rocky 2.
Okay. Got it.
I love the guy who's at the top of the stadium who's like, guys,
Yes.
they're coming, guys.
And what's so funny are like the tomatoes are moving at like a millisecond. Like they're bare, like this is not, like you have time, and they're like so freaking out that the tomatoes are coming in. Okay, so the tomatoes stop, but then there's one giant tomato who's wearing earmuffs, which I love so much. You remember my Produce Pals?
I do. Yes.
Era of my life where I would, Aunt and I would decorate fruit. We would make fruit and vegetable creatures and give them to people for their birthdays.
Yes.
And so the fact that this tomato is wearing earmuffs is very on a Michelle level. That is, very much loved that. But that was to keep the song out because that tomato's about to attack Lois.
Right. I love it. I love the earmuff tomato.
Like, I love it so much.
Because it's kind of like sinister and scary. Like, it's very silly looking, but I still get the impact of like, oh no.
Right. And so it's like,
now what do you do?
What do you do? And so Mason whips out the lyrics, the sheet music to Puberty Love, shows the tomato, and then the tomato shrinks to a cherry tomato surrounded by his giant earmuffs.
Giant earmuffs. It's so stupid.
It's so silly.
It's very stupid.
And so then we get one of our final scenes where Lois and Mason are on the baseball field, and Lois says, "Thank you for saving my life." "Thank you, Mason." "You're welcome, Lois." And we go back and forth, Lois, Mason. And then they realize they love each other.
She starts to walk away, and he says, "Goodbye, Miss Fairchild." And she says, "Lois." He says, "Lois." And then she says, "Goodbye, Mr. Dixon." And he says, "Mason." She goes, "Mason? Lois? Mason." It's again, it's building something out of nothing, out of absolutely nothing. But it's not like, oh, they just ad-libbed it, because then it launches into a full song that they would have had to already have written and recorded so that they could perform it.
And it's dubbed over.
Mm-hmm.
They're not singing this. This is
right. So it's like, before they finished, they're like, how do we get these two together? Because of course, in a disaster movie,
sure,
the hero and the female reporter need to fall in love, and it's like, oh, we didn't make them fall in love. Oops, throughout the whole movie. Well, we'll just have them say each other's names a few times.
I love when they're saying each other's names, and then at one point they say their own names.
Yes. Yes.
And I also love, because Lois is so tall and Mason is short, and Mason runs and jumps in Lois's arms.
Mm-hmm. And they go into slow-mo, and Lois picks him up, does a full swing around, and I was watching her legs. They are planted. You know what I mean? Like, she, it's hilarious. It's so good.
It's super funny. And so they essentially walk off into the sunset.
Yep.
And then our final scene is a little carrot emerging, saying like, guys, they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that's funny, right? But then, because I haven't seen all of the what's to come in this franchise, I'm assuming nothing comes of the carrots, because it seems
I don't think so.
Return of the Killer Tomatoes, and so the Killer Tomatoes take France. Is the fourth
Eat
one?
France or something.
Eat France.
Yeah.
Then we get cartoons and merchandise and memorabilia, and there's so much. Do you know there's a podcast hosted by Costa Dillon?
No.
Yeah, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes podcast.
Holy cow. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's if you're interested, a great 3-hour retrospective by Screaming Soup, which is an animated horror host show.
Okay.
And he deep dives into the franchise. There's just so much out there. So that's why I was like, oh my God, how am I supposed to learn all of this? I can't.
Right.
I can't.
I will say though, I'm definitely gonna keep watching however many of these I can.
Me too. So the budget for this movie was $90,000.
Crazy.
The box office made $25 million, from what I gathered. And I don't want to confirm that, because it took a while for this movie to take off. It did well at matinees and it did well at midnight showings. And then it was paired with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay, so that might 25 million. That might be like total lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, which is funny. I'm like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes, Killer Shows. 27.
That's so insane to me. 27%.
27%.
Okay, all right.
Letterboxd 2.6.
Also insane.
Metacritic?
I don't even want to know.
Why don't you guess?
6.3.
Okay, 9.
Wait, what?
It has a 9.
There's no way. Like 0.9?
I don't know how. I just gather because I'll tell you. Look it up. Fact check me. Metacritic 9%.
Oh, okay.
Am I rating the wrong score?
No. No, you are. Okay. I was thinking that it was like 9.0 out of 10. But it's not. It's like 9 out of 100.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Well, you guessed
still
6. But you were thinking
ridiculous.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
It's not a part of the Criterion Collection. It's not on the National Registry. The other weird thing, and maybe this isn't weird, you are more versed in Ebert's reviews. I could not find his review for this.
It's incredibly likely that he didn't.
He didn't. He talks about it in other reviews because I read some other reviews of his talking about other movies, and then he ties in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but not specifically just for this movie.
Right. Was he kind of like,
this is like, or in the same vein of, is, and then he would reference.
Did it seem negative or positive?
More so just like, this is like.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as far as production days, principal filming ran for about a month in 1977, and then they had to do pickups in the following year after another round of fundraising and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
There
I would like to see this in the National Film Registry. Yeah. Genuinely, like not joking, not trying to be funny. I really meant what I said. I think that this is like, you should watch this and see, okay, we have to have the president. Well, you know what? Maybe the president's secretary is standing there with two giant handfuls of pens. And he's grabbing one, writing with it, and then putting it in the other hand. That is so funny and weird. And it cost, you know what I mean? How much is a handful of pens?
Right.
So I think that you should watch this and see what you can do with nothing.
Yeah. Let's go into our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies.
All right, Seth, you go first.
Okay, my happy is Sam Smith, definitely. I think he just steals every scene that he's in. I wish he was in it so much more. My crappy is kind of the plot line with Lois where they're pressuring her to like sleep with the guys to get information. It's not as gratuitous as it could be. I will give the movie that. But
yeah, I mean, I don't like the guy who's like, and you have a nice ass.
Right.
It's just like, you suck, but I get what you're doing here.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I have two happies. Just the overall gibberish of the tomatoes, I very much love. And I love that Dean Grell as Miss Potato Famine of 1922, how we see that in the opening credits, and then there's a payoff at the end. I really, 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 really love that.
Yes.
My crappy is, it's not a great crappy, but I feel like the scene where Finletter's parachute is stuck in the car door and he's being dragged, I think we could have shortened that a little bit. That's the only thing I felt like went on for a little too long.
That's what I was saying. We do get to a point kind of starting to drag a little.
Yeah.
And it's when he's getting dragged.
Right. Trim it up. Did anybody have anything to say?
We did get one response. Jalen Salah at Jalen_Salah says, I adore this movie because as a kid, it freaked me out. And every time my mom would juice or wash tomatoes in the sink, I'd cry.
No! Oh my goodness.
Isn't that great?
That is so great. Do you think if you saw this as a kid, well, I mean, your young child watched this and isn't freaked out and wants to keep watching. So I don't think if I was a kid, I'd be creeped out about this. Interesting. And I'm sorry you were scared about it.
I know. Yeah. I don't think I would be scared because it's funny. I think I maybe would have been bored watching this because I wouldn't have
go over your head, right?
Why all the jokes were funny.
Right.
Like the table thing, I think that's funny no matter who you are. But hey, my 4-year-old, like I said, he keeps watching it and he watches it the whole way through and he's laughing up a storm the whole time.
Oh, so. I love it. That's great. Well, thanks, singular friend, for responding to our call to action to give us your thoughts on this movie. But we are going to go into our segment where we hear from people we don't know. It's called Half Star, 3-Star, 5-Star. Half-star, 3-star, 5-star. These are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is an app and a website where you can log, rate, and review movies. We start with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating you can give a movie, and we go all the way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating you can give a movie. Seth, as always, is going to read our half-star review. Usually he reads it in an accent. I don't know. I don't know which accent is calling your name today. I don't know if you want to gibber it. I don't know if you want to sing it.
I could do it in the style of Puberty Love.
That'd be great.
Puberty Love.
It's so cool.
Okay, 1/2-star review. Very short, thankfully, because this is going to be hard on the voice. Would have maybe been better if it was about killer broccoli.
Very nice. I pulled this one because of just the beginning of this review, which is would have maybe been better.
Right. But you know what? We normally don't disagree, full on with people's reviews because it's their opinions. But I'm just going to say this would not have been better because how are you going to move broccoli around? Tomatoes roll, so it works.
True.
It works.
Well, going back to what we talked about in the top of the show, how you think maybe asparagus would be scary. I mean, I guess they could roll like, how do you imagine the asparagus getting around?
Oh, I didn't realize you were asking for that. I just thought you meant like what vegetable am I afraid of just in general? Like what
Oh, that's wait, what?
What vegetable gives off like an evil aura?
No. Oh, wow. So you're kind of afraid of asparagus?
If I'm walking through the produce section and I'm looking at all the produce, what's the scariest? An asparagus. You don't think so?
No.
Okay, well, I do.
Okay, Attack of the Killer Asparagus.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so our 3-star review says, I didn't really know what this was about. I watched the cartoon as a kid, but it did not prepare me for this insanity. It's so silly and a lot of times unexpected. I liked it, but I do wish it would have been made in the 80s when they could have made the tomatoes have a little more personality.
Again, good review. I also disagree with that because it's the tomatoes have no emotion.
Right.
And then the voices that they are given are very silly and we don't understand them. If a tomato pops up and it looks at you like angry and then it says, I'm going to kill you. That's such a different movie.
Agreed. Yeah. 5-star review says, this is one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen, and I say that with love. I love movies that were made to be stupid on purpose like this. I can never get tired of it. Be aware if you watch it, some of the jokes are very outdated and wouldn't be accepted in today's society. But why let that ruin a very stupidly funny movie? I mean, just the name alone is enough, and the name was voted one of the top 100 greatest movie titles of all time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Great title. Yeah, I agree.
All right. Here it comes. Here's part of the show. Seth and I are going to reveal our ratings. We rate a movie as a schmovie, movie, or film. We also rate it 1 to 5 stars and give our final thoughts and recommendations. I don't think anyone won last week. Did anybody win last week? Did I guess your rating? I don't remember.
No, we were off.
No? Okay, I'm going to go first. I'll go first.
I just felt confident that I was like, you know what? I think Michelle's just going to like this. So I put down 4-star schmovie.
Yes, you're right.
Hooray.
Wow. Yes. So give me a pickle.
Wait, I get a pickle.
Oh, right. I always get it wrong. Well, I'll just...
She was so up, and now she's down again.
So up, and I'm so down. Maybe I will get a pickle after I reveal my rating to you. But yes, okay, so this is definitely a 4-star schmovie. Like we've talked about it. It's very smart. I am going to recommend it. I think everybody should watch it because it is so silly. And even if you watch it and you're like Seth and I on the first watch and you're like, I don't really get what's going on, you're still going to laugh. There's enough here where you are okay if you're just watching it passively and not covering it on a podcast or have to discuss it in a critique matter.
I agree.
Okay, for you, I wrote down 4-star movie.
Correct.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I do get a pickle.
But you do.
Thank you.
And going over to our pickle tally, Michelle has won 12 and I have won 15. So I'm still in the lead, but we both win. I mean, my God, Yeah. I am so close to just being like 5-star, but there's obvious things that I can see that clearly this is not like a perfect movie. Like I said, it starts to drag a little bit. And I think that both of us watching this and not fully putting together that there's like there is a very cohesive plot, right? I think that speaks to maybe their inability to convey a story.
Yeah.
So, because, it's not like you and I watch movies all the time and we're like, I didn't realize this was a movie.
Right. Yes.
But I feel more than fine saying 4 stars for sure. This is a great movie. It's funny. It's smart. Most of it, shockingly, has aged well. And I think that this is a perfect throw-on movie.
Yeah.
You're washing dishes, throw it on. You're going to bed, laugh a little, live a little for once in your life.
I agree. And I think what we've talked about too, but it looks good.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's got that great 70s aesthetic, and the music is good. You can judge the tomatoes for being poor quality, but that's the charm of it.
I think everything that's in this is the charm of it.
Yeah. Does this movie pass the Seth Shell test? The Seth Shell test is our spin on the Bechdel test. This movie must contain something tangible that is impressive, whether choreography, production design, or a practical effect, and it must have a running time justified by its content. I'm going to say yes on both accounts. I think everything they're doing is impressive. I think the effects they're doing, like we talked about, that helicopter crash, even though it wasn't on purpose, that was a happy accident, I think is very impressive that they kept filming that and that made it into the movie. And I'm fine with the runtime.
I'm also agreeing on both points. I know that we just said that it drags,
No,
but I don't think that the whole movie, it picks back up to me.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So by the end, I'm not like, oh, come on, what are we doing here? It's just that there's a little bit of a lull. But
yeah,
I mean, how long is this movie?
It's like a 90 minutes,
83 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Come on, it's fine. I'm impressed with everything. Yeah, if you're impressed with everything that we've done, which I'm sure that's not the case, we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you are listening. If you are on Spotify or YouTube, hey, you know what you should do? Leave us a comment. Just take those little thumbs.
Or big thumbs.
Maybe a big thumb. You got a big thumb?
Type with it. Leave us tomato emojis. Sprinkle tomato emojis.
Maybe some thumb emojis.
Sure.
I would love, if you're listening to this in 6 months, to get a comment on YouTube that just says, I've got a big thumb.
I would love that. I can't wait for me to send that to Seth and be like, why is this person saying that?
Right. And I'll be like, what are they talking about? Anyway, hey, leave us a review, leave us a comment. If you haven't done it already, subscribe to the show. Come on.
Please.
You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Are we giving this movie too much credit? Are Michelle and I just so far down the schmovie rabbit hole that we're like, everything is great? Let us know. You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. $5 a month gets you access to all of our additional episodes, ad-free episodes, patron-only Discord. You get to vote, oh my God, on upcoming episodes and monthly themes. Life is short, and the world is horrible. Okay? Just going to say that. Put a little pep in your step, put a feather in your cap, and call it macaroni. Subscribe to Movie Friends Patreon. Why not?
Do you know the macaroni song?
No.
Macaroni and cheese, it's my favorite meal. I love it how it makes my tummy feel good.
Did you make that up?
No.
No. Where did that come from?
Childhood?
No. You made that up.
No, I didn't. No. My babysitter who loved Clark Gable's chest hair used to sing it to us.
So she made it up.
I don't know if she made it up. Is that not a real song? Hey, send us an email. Let us know.
I've never heard that. I know Chicken Wayne.
I don't know Chicken Wing.
Chicken Wayne, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies.
Nope, never heard.
You don't
Chicken
know that
Wing.
one?
Nope.
I think that one might be more recent.
Okay.
Do you know the McDonald's one? The fast food one?
Sing it.
McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza Hut.
That sounds a little bit more familiar, but it's no macaroni and cheese song.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Anyway, what are we doing next week?
Anyway, next week is our patron voted movie. And like I mentioned, I've been busy, so I forgot to send it to him on time. So I don't know what it is going to be.
Okay, good. But it's going to be patron voted, so it's a surprise.
And we got a lot of really good submissions so far, so I'm excited.
The patrons never disappoint.
Yes. And they always throw us a curveball.
They sure do. They sure do.
Wait.
Yes.
I had a great time this week.
I did too.
And I'm glad that you found, would you consider this maybe a mini Mitch obsession?
Yes.
Like not full blown.
I would say I will continue watching the movies. And if anything, I am inspired.
Yeah.
And has my wheels turning.
Yeah.
As, you know, we will write stuff and do stuff.
Yes.
Because I was like, oh, this is like my humor. Like, this is what Seth and when I think of like stupid stuff we write, I'm like, oh, we write stuff like this. Obviously, I wasn't influenced by this because I'm just seeing this for the first time. So it's like, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Seth.
And hey, thank you for listening wherever you are. And remember, folks, last year, more people were killed by automobile accidents, heart attacks, lung cancer, and natural causes combined than by any one tomato. Till next time, thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.
Incoming. Message incoming. Message to Michelle's inner circle. Remember, kids, only Michelle's inner circle can decipher this week's message. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
The bag is full, the table is set. An infinite amount of choices made an infinite amount of causes that lead to this point. You will never know if something you could have done differently would have led to a different outcome. And try as you might, there is no guarantee that stopping something on one day will prevent it from happening on another. The numbers are too great to know. The numbers are too great to know. The numbers are too great to know. The numbers are too great to know.
Michelle is counting on you. Do not let her down.